It is that time of day where we are going to whip up a red wine and pomegranate braised short rib. And it is divine, it is delicious, and honestly, this dish looks so beautiful that it's almost too intimidating to eat. But I promise you, after this video, you're going to feel like a restaurant chef. You're gonna whip this up and you're gonna surprise yourself, your friends, your dog, your cat, whoever you hang out with. What I've done here is I've roasted some rainbow carrots. I topped them with some goat cheese, some pomegranate, some parsley. But then the main event is the braised short rib. And it's basically sucking in the juices of this pomegranate juice and red wine mixture. Of course, we paired it with a beef broth to make it really hearty. And it is juicy, it is tender, it is, oh, I just got the chills. I think I'm gonna cry. I ended up testing this 2 times. I wanted to test it with the bone in and the bone out of the short ribs. So you can buy 2 different kinds. You can buy boneless short ribs, you can buy bone in short ribs. In terms of what I prefer out of both of these, I think they're both a different experience. I think if you are buying meat for this, you have to go see it in person. Then you can visualize the cut, the size, and what you're looking for. I just order off of Instacart and have it delivered. Now moving on, I want to also talk about braising. What is braising? Let's talk about it. Braising is combining 2 different cooking methods. So we have a dry heat. We're searing the short ribs, so we're creating a nice caramelization on the outside. Caramelization equals golden brown crust. So that's step 1. And then what we're doing is we're going to slowly cook it at a lower temperature in a beautiful mixture of liquids, and in this case, a red wine, a pomegranate juice, and some beef broth with a few aromatics in between, but it's pretty simple, very straightforward, and I think it just looks so much more intimidating and restaurant-like, and I don't want you to be scared of this dish. Like, don't be scared, because you're gonna just be so surprised when you whip this up, and it's just gonna be the best day ever. I am filming this after I have tested this recipe multiple times, so I'm just gonna go close up to hands and pans and show you the entire method from start to finish. Okay, so the first step here, we're gonna get our short ribs. I'm using boneless, but of course you can use bone in. And I'm putting them on some paper towel. I have like 1 random piece. I'm gonna incorporate it, but it's just gonna cook a little differently, obviously. Lovely. We got our meat here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry it off with a paper towel. I put it on paper towel and I'm drying it off with a paper towel. And this is going to help it sear really nicely, and that sear is actually a really important part of braising any meat because it produces obviously flavor, but it's because it caramelizes on the pan, and if it's wet, it does not caramelize on the pan. So it is important that we dry it off and we season it. And I'm gonna generously go to town here. I'm using just some kosher salt, nothing crazy. Not sea salt. Sea salt is very strong, so I would stay away from that. And I'm gonna use some pepper. I actually have rainbow peppercorns right now, and I feel like it just tastes really good with this whole flavor profile. It's kind of floral, it's really strong, and I love it, but that's a personal preference. If you don't know what kind of pepper you like, just go with black. Easy as can be, you guys. And then I'm gonna flip it over. I want you to see it. So generous. I mean, this is pretty coarse salt. You can also use fine salt. Classic kosher salt is always a safe bet. There we go. All right, so let's take this and we're gonna go to our stove. Let's get our meat, let's make it happen. I seasoned this with some avocado oil. I'm gonna rotate it around a little bit. It's going to get smoky. All right, let this cook. I don't want to overcook this piece here, so I'm honestly going to remove it in a second, because I don't want it to fully cook through, so I'm gonna remove it. You want to make sure you're also getting the edges really high, really hot. All right, these are done, so I'm going to remove them. I know it's smoky. Oh well. Now it's time for onions. Add them in. I've lowered my heat a little bit because the searing is really heavy. really high. We don't want that. So onions first. Let's let this happen. Let them cook. Add my garlic and my celery as well. Just put it all in there. And now we're gonna deglaze our pan. What does that mean? You see the golden brown bits on the bottom? That's flavor, and it is that nice caramelization that occurred when the meat was searing, and we love it. So we're gonna up our heat a little bit to medium and add it, and you'll hear that sizzle. This is a red wine pomegranate juice mixture, by the way. So just scrape along the bottom, not in an aggressive, like ruin your cookware way, but more of a get those brown bits softly and gently kind of way. And then I'm gonna add some beef stock or broth. So there we go. And I'm gonna let this come to a boil. Also added a bay leaf, and I don't have fresh rosemary, so I'm gonna add some dried rosemary. It's about probably 2 teaspoons. Let's just let this reduce by about half. I don't want it to reduce too much. And now we're gonna lower the heat and move this to the oven with our short ribs in there. So just lay them around. There we go. And I'm just gonna let them drink up all of this flavor in the oven for about 3 hours. But I will update you if I end up taking it out sooner, because there's not that much meat. It's 1 1/4 pounds. So, all right, I'm gonna cover it up. Let's take it to the oven. Whew, I made these short ribs in a gigantic Dutch oven. You can use any kind of Dutch oven or a slow cooker. So this is what I'm looking at. Oh my goodness. I could put my face in here. So when you're done with your short ribs, you're gonna notice the meat should be extremely tender. Like when your fork touches it, it should kind of just slightly fall apart a little bit or feel really, really, really tender. Like if you touched it really hard, it would fall apart. That's how it should feel. If you were using bone-in short ribs, it should feel like the meat just slipped off the bone effortlessly. You shouldn't be tugging, you shouldn't be pulling. It should be effortless and seamless. And if your meat seems really tough, keep it in the oven for a little more time and then feel it out. Because the first time I tested this, I did it a little differently, and my final results that I think is just the winning cooking method was 325 degrees in my Dutch oven for 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna go try these out. Got some rainbow carrots here, and I'm also gonna get a sheet pan. I'm gonna toss these in some avocado oil, just enough to get them all wilted and sexy, and then we're gonna also add some salt and pepper. Pepper. Beautiful. So then just toss these up until they're fully coated, and we're gonna take a sheet pan. I'm just going to simply put them in a line. I do recommend, if your carrots have the stems on, leave them on. Unfortunately, mine came without the stems, so I decided to just cut them in half to show really fun things like this, like that nice contrast in color. All right, now let's put this in the oven. I just took the carrots out of the oven and I flipped them over because the other side was so ugly. I'm just showing you, here's what we got. I'm gonna put these on a plate, and then I'm gonna get the short rib, which has been resting. All right, so I've got my Dutch oven. Let's open it. Oh my, look at this. It is totally transformed. It's just, I can smell how amazing this is. I mean, it looks pretty boring, but we're gonna open one of these up and it's going to be so shocking. Okay, we got our carrots there. A little sauce. There we go. This is just a fun touch, really. I mean, and it also pairs very nicely with the short rib. Optional though. And then I'm gonna add some parsley on top of the carrots. So a lot of people serve honey glazed carrots, and I figure just put the pomegranate on top, you get the same sweetness. And if you want, totally optional, you can add some goat cheese as well. Oh my gosh, look at this. All right, I have already started to dig into this, but I can't resist it. I can't resist it all. All right, I'm gonna combine all the flavors. I'm gonna get some carrots, get some pomegranate, get a little cheese in there, get some of this. Oh my God, tears right off. Looks so good. All right, I got it all. Absolutely. Absolutely, I love this. You have this really rich meat. It's in this red wine, rich, comforting sauce. But then you have that pop of pomegranate, a little acid, a little pop of tang, of bright, of just fruitiness, kind of. And it complements that wine, of course. And then with the carrots, if you season them with the salt and the pepper, it's like a really earthy sweetness with a little pop of salt. Enough of me. I am just gonna chow down. But you should go make this, go try it out, test your limit, or give it a go. Let me know what you think about these flavors, or if you just did something similar, anything at all. I just hope you cook. It's always a blast in the kitchen, especially when it's fall. We don't have to be in our bikinis. We just put on our sweater. It's so fun. So yes, long story short, you should totally make this. And if you do, let me know. Leave me a comment in the little comments below. I will also put the written recipe in the description, and you can DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. My account is Dining with Skylar, and be sure to tag me if you make these and follow along. I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel it in my soul.